What's up guys, this is Shell Shock from CTUSA Mini 4-Wheel Drive Racing Squad, and I'm a teacher here in NoobWorks. And today we're going to talk about the finals in Visionaire Racing last January. There are 3 categories on that race. We have box stock, we have creative award finals, and we also have the modified class, Tamiya class finals. Okay, so the box stock category is you can only use a stock car. Combine you can mix match all the parts of a box stock car using a 130 white end bell motor. You can't use any motor, and you can also use alkaline batteries, but you can mix match in parts. Okay, in the creative award, you will have a car that you created and try to make it as creative as possible, try to make it as nice as possible, but it should be raceable with also with a 130 white end bell stock motor. So I have my car Storm. You guys already know about this car. It's a VS chassis. I hydro dip it, try to match all the colors, but the most important part of this car is it's raceable of a 130 white end bell stock motor. So this goes to the finals and you'll see how it performs, but there's only stock motor that I can use racing against all the other creative cars. Okay, and last but not the least is the modified class, Tamiya class, which we all know you can modify the car, cuts, whatever, and basically close to the Japan Cup rules. But the fastest motor we can use is a Hyper Dash 3, and the slowest motor we can use is a stock motor, which is a white 130 end bell motor. Okay, so I have 2 cars. I have Fate that I race in the wild card, which is all the wild card car will race, and there's only 2 cars that will be qualified for the quarters. And I have another car, which is Victoria, my new build, is in the quarterfinals because I won first place on the first elimination round, so I'm allowed to build a new car and put it on the final race. But all the finalists will be waiting in the quarter round, and this is the car that I choose. So you guys already know Fate that I use in the wild card, and I have this car in the finals. Alright, so let me just tell you something that happened. So before that race, you have a 1-hour test run. So you can basically practice and test run your car. So while I'm test running this car, while I'm tuning it, this body shell ripped off. This is not actually the original body shell that I have. I have another Neo Falcon body shell that I use, which ripped. So when it ripped, I was like, I don't have time to build a new body shell that looks like this. So I basically took Barcelona 3.0, my 3rd build of Barcelona body shell, and put it to this car. So when you see it on the video, it will be running this body shell. Alright, so don't be confused with that. And before I registered it, I put that body shell there. So I used that body shell and then register it. So we're gonna go directly to the setup now. So just to make it quick, this car is an MSL chassis, built to absorb the impact when the car lands on the track. I want to say shout out to Jay Velasco, Tamiya Mechanics. Yeah, so that's what the MS suspension does. It's built to absorb shock when it lands. Also, I've been rocking I'm rocking a Hyper Dash Pro, which is the faster motor I can use. I use the 351 gear, so I will have more top speed because I have a dual shaft. Because dual shaft motors, dual shaft chassis or cars have a lot of torque to begin with, so I can compensate the speed by putting 351 gear ratio to make the car faster. I mean, basically giving it more top speed. Also, one important thing on this setup is my wheels, which is 6-spoke. So I go 6-spoke wheels. It's just durable because there's 6 spokes in there, and also it's lighter. So I have bigger wheels, but I trimmed it. It was trimmed as thin as possible. Shout out M3 in the Philippines who trim my tires. As trim as possible to make it lighter. So this is like 25.5, I think. And then the outer part is 25. So there's like 0.5 millimeter difference. The reason of doing that is for less drag when the car goes to the cornering. There are less drag when it's like swaying inside the track for cornering. There's less drag, so it's faster. Also, this tire combination is it's a super hard and a hard tire. That means there will be less bounce, and because it's so thin, it will be less tendency of bouncing. Not 100% not gonna bounce, but less tendency of bouncing. But because I have MS suspension, it will absorb the shock. That's basically like the bounce of the car is very, very minimal. All right. So also one big factor why there's no actually the bounce is lessened is the damper positioning. All right. I have front damper right now, and the reason why I have a front damper, this is actually only a second car that I have a front, actually a third car that I have a front damper, because I need to land right away, and I need it to tilt forward, because the track, you will see the track layout, there will be only one slope recovery. One slope recovery is after the slope, there will be one straight and then turn, which is very, very critical when you're running a fast car. And I have to go fast because all the Japanese racers and the other racers over there are very, very competitive, especially like the Japanese crew, the Virginia crew, Nelson and Puerto Rican crew. Shout out to them. They're very, very competitive, very fast. So I have to go fast. So in order for me to land forward, because I have a dual shaft motor, I don't have much weight up front. I need a damper so it can push. I mean, it can push and then it can tilt and land as I want to, like an FM chassis. And also the damper positioning, I chose it like not too close, so at least I have a little bit more balance. And also I have the bullet dampers and the cylinder dampers, so when it goes up, the bullet dampers push the cylinder damper down, so it pushes more, it has more momentum going down. And also my springs are tight up front, so it goes back right away. And when it goes back right away, it's basically the dampers absorbing all the pressure and the shock through the floor to the car. So the MS suspension will come in play, the tires will play, and the dampers will play, and the dampers will basically absorb all the shock and then push it back. That's how, if you understand the physics behind it. So when it goes there, it jumps high, flicks back, go inside the track will catch up the roller, and then it will land properly and smoothly. Alright, so that whole setup will come on in play. Second, I have a brick block damper, whatever you guys want to call it. I call it brick or block damper in the rear, because dual shaft motors is not like rear motors or front motors. Rear motors is they already have the weight behind, as I always say that, and there's some, and then the front motor already have the weight up front because they have their motors up front or rear. So that's how you balance your dampers. But in this case, I'm rocking a dual shaft motor, which is all your motor weight is in the middle. So you have to be more balanced and be precise with your damper positioning. So I use a block damper. So I have this solid weight from behind that basically have that weight of the car. So the car won't go like this or won't go like that. You basically have a consistent jump because you have that solid weight from behind. Alright. Also, I have 19mm rollers because the track layout needs a lot of, like, you have to maximize the cornering speed that you have, because there's a lot of corners and you need a lot of torque. So the dual shaft have a lot of torque to begin with. I put 351 gear ratio to compensate it and have more top speed. I have 19mm rollers for better cornering, because I have better cornering and it's closer to the body. It's closer to the body, that's why it's bumperless, both front and rear, so it's closer to the body for better cornering. I have the offset tires for better cornering too, for less drag when it's drifting. And I also have a rear sliding damper. Again, shout out to Tamiya Mechanics, Jay Velasco. He made that one for me, but there are some tweaks that I need to do. I need to make it tighter, and then I have to file a little bit of the bushing, but it's all good. But thank you for building it for me. So it's a rear sliding damper. So basically, a rear sliding damper is pushing the car, pushing the car going outside the track, like not towards the track wall, away from the track wall. I'm correcting myself, it's not outside the track, it's like away from the track wall, so it's faster. Instead of like your car's pushing it inside the track, it's pushing it away the track wall, because it absorbs the shock, and then the rollers will not be aligned, so it's pushing it away to the track wall. That's why I have the rear sliding damper, and that's the reason why I don't have the one in front, because if I have the front sliding damper up front, it will basically like push the car and it makes the car slower. Alright, I pick MSL chassis if you guys wonder, because I'm getting a lot of questions, what's my setup and what's my secret, or what. There's no secret, but this is basically, I study the track layout, and I basically study MS chassis, and I try to study everything about the MS chassis. I study, and I basically pick what is the best setup that I can use, and I can maximize the capability of this chassis. Again, this is not my favorite chassis. Everybody knows that follows me. VS chassis is my favorite chassis, but I have to be versatile, so I pick MS chassis and study it, even though it's not my comfort chassis, and make it work. You know, make it work on that track layout, and it works pretty pretty good for me. MSL chassis, because it's light, and I need that lightness, so I can make the hyper dash faster. And also, I made the transmission really smooth by putting floating transmission, but making it floating transmission. But I didn't use floating gear because I don't have time to build it. So stabilizers, by the way, before I forget, I use the stabilizers because I need it for the change lane, and I use carbon because carbon is lighter but very, very, very tough. All right. So yeah. So that's basically it. No secret. It's just your MS chassis, bumperless, suspension, front damper, 19mm rollers up front, tough stabilizer, rear sliding damper in the back, underguard. Obviously, you guys already know about the underguard. I have an underguard video. So when the underguard hits the track wall, it goes back inside the track instead of getting caught. And I have the long tail, so I use brake in the underguard, and up front is the long tail. Before I forget, shout out Sir Glenn Ong of Speed Tech Racers of the Philippines. He helped me how to make my transmission really, really smooth. And also my braking techniques, Sir Joey, thank you for the braking tips. He's not teaching me anymore, but I learned a lot from him, and he basically, all the tips and everything that he told me, I always use it on races, and it's really good, and it's really reliable. He might have some riddles and things that he doesn't spoon feed, but I find a way to figure it out. But yeah, thank you, Sir Joey. Thank you, Sir Glenn Ongs. Thank you, Sir Jing, because Sir Jing is the one who teach me how to break in the motor, and his way is really awesome. But yeah, so this is my car, Victoria. You will see it with the Barcelona body shell, but I want to show you guys how it performed. Congratulations to all the winners, and I'll see you again with in the next race. This is Shell Shock from CTUSA Mini 4-Wheel Drive Racing Squad. As I always say, always race humble, and we learn from you, you learn from us. Peace. Yes. All right. Oh my God! Right. Look at the oh, look at that. Where's the start? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm shell shocked, dude. Look at the track layout, man. It's huge ass track. All right. New York City only. Gonna be racing this track later. There's like gaps in there. Oh, they have a mini podium thing that we can put our cars. Shell Shock has arrived. I'm raising a box stop. Oh, I only have one group left.
Yeah. 3 hours drive.
I mean, they just started like once I know. Yeah.
Polis ako.
Do a normal coach meal, kind of look at this, get down into it and look at it.
Ulit nito lang. Video ko eh.
Yes.
It was pretty safe.
Visionaire racing is not all about speed. And you can't control it like a real car. It's like 50%.
Because you guys use the same battery.
Oh no, we do different kinds of
And what would you say is like the special part about this track?
I think it's still actually here in America. See, it's like the biggest racing track, but it's track is more on torque. Like it's not top speed, it's more torque won't come in play.
Go, Rob.
Well, good luck. Wish you all the best and have fun.
All right, we're in the finals, buddy. How are you feeling? Feeling good?
Sadya mo ba yung battery na to?
Huh?
Everything here! 3, 2, 1, go!
One down. All right, let's go. Last love, buddy. Come on, take the bacon home. Woo! That was. Come on. There you go. There you go. All right. Stay down. Woo! Woo! All right. Come home. Come home now. Come home. Woo! Good job.
Good job, Mia.
Mio, we won! We won, Mio! We won! Woohoo! We won! Show me. Second place! Good job.
Man, good job.
Go, Richard, go! Stay down! Woo! Yeah, baby. All right. You got it, bro.
3, 2, 1, go!
Go, Christian. Got this, buddy.
Hey!
All right. All right, you got no delay. Go down. Okay, good. Lobat na. Ah! Change lane. Where is it? Let's go. Only 2.
Three, 2, 1, go!
Out. Woo! Let's go. You just gotta stay in the track, buddy. All right. Woo! Let's go. Land like a diva. Come home. Let's go. Woo! You got it.
Three, 2, 1, go! Three, 2, 1, go!
Stay down, GB. There you go. Keep it close. Putang ina, tukod yung kotse ko. Adukan!
Three, two, one, go!
Woo! One out. You're in, buddy. You're in.
Race is ready!
Yo, I hope you guys got fresh batteries. I don't want no excuses.
Race is ready! Good, good, guys. Good luck, good luck. 3, 2, 1, go!
Tangina mo, tumalong ka ng malakas! Whoa! Woo! Let's go! Woo! All right, land like a diva for me. Come on. All right, Viva Pilipinas! Woo! AR chassis, wide boy chassis.
3, 2, 1, go!
All track. Woo! Let's go! Let's go! Where you at? Is that one? Huh? What? How many left? Two. Oops. Oh. Well, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Go.
Race is ready? Three, 2, 1, go!
Stay down, buddy. Stay down. Oh, oh, I can. Use Rob's battery. Alright, push that shit in case there's a rerun.
Sala pa yung mga battery.
Yeah, put more batteries there.
Okay, yeah. Race is ready. 3, 2, 1, go!
Let's go! Go like that! Woo! Oh! Hey, hey! Hey! Good job, guys. Good job. Say smile, say smile.
3, 2, 1, go! 3, 2, 1, go!
Be good too.
One's up.
Magandang shit.
Sumasabit, Shell.
Nawala tuloy yung focus sa
Stay down! No battery switching lang.
Only who stays in the longest do it. Alright, come on.
Stay there.
You know we gotta give you a hard time.
What are you doing?
Reruns. 3, 2, 1, go!
There you go. Go, Richard. Go, Richard. There you go, winner.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! 2, 1, go!
Nice. Get it.
Let's go! Go, go! That always wins. I've done it myself.
From the creative class next.
Hey, stand right there. Okay. Stay right there. Amanda, stay.
Second place. Can I get Adam?
Pilipinas.
And your first place winner.
Pilipinas.
Sally.
Alright, now all three together, right? Get back behind you.
Video.
Good smile.
Yeah, Girl Scout.
Controversial class there is. Can I get our third place winner?
Somebody go 1 through 9.
Silly.
Meron na, pasok pa wala talo.
Want to say something for the mic?
It's alright. Video.
Second place winner, not the least. Yeah.
Where's that car? Where's that one car? Smile for the camera. Smile for the camera.
Next shoulder. Okay.
The champion. And once again, Team VA go home with the gold.